Hello everyone, this is Iqbal Khan, and this is a Hawthorne. I last worked on it about 3 years ago, and I've just left it to grow. It's gone a bit wild and it needs sorting out. I have removed the anchor wires and now just gently easing the tree out of the pot and see what's going on in there. There's 3 years of growth in there. So it'll be interesting to see. Wow, it has lots of roots, and here it's out. And also it was planted off center. I think there are too many roots on one side, so that's basically what happened. I didn't want to cut off too much of the roots, perhaps not a wise thing to do. So 3 years on, I'm going to have to do what I should have done then, as I would like it to be more sort of close to the center as opposed to right wedged up against one side. So the roots have gone round and round the pot down here, and that's the rest of the wire. I think all these roots which are going round, these would have to come off anyway. They're far too long, and I'm not even going to bother straightening them out. As you can see, there's all that, so they're quite long. So I'm going to start by cutting these off. And these are really the very thick roots that I'm cutting, and from which the finer roots come. It's like a bird's nest, really. Well, I've cleaned the roots out, and what I'm going to do is give it a thorough wash and really get rid of the soil that's there, and then see what to do. And also will tidy up. I have cleaned it up, and the roots, as I said, are all on one side, and that's partly because of having planted it too close to one side, and the roots at that time were all on one side. So expensive lesson, have to tidy these up, and firstly remove this is sticking too high up out of the ground, so I'm going to take this out. It's all twisted, and right with that comes all of that. And then perhaps this one is also not quite right. I think I'll use a knob cutter or a branch cutter. Unfortunately, that's the only way I can get to it, so there goes. That's better. It's a much smoother cut and in line with the trunk. And we repeat the process with this one. And cut it from there like that. A little bit more tidy up. Right, that's a bit better. this is in fact, this is one great big root which has gone round in circles. It's this one which is tangled up. Not quite sure what's going on there. Oh no, it's no, it is separate. Yes, it is tangled up with that one. I can free it up and remove it. There. That's that one. And now that's not too bad. Oh, there's this one which is again quite high up, so we'll remove that. And pull that out, just that. And now shorten this one. This again was sticking out of the soil, so we'll take it back to about there. And there's few more larger roots which we will remove. There's this one here. As they've just gone back on themselves. There's still some muck in there. I'll tidy up a little more and be right back. Okay, we've cleaned up a bit more. There was still some soil caught up between the tangled up roots, so they were very, very badly tangled. And there's still these roots which are sort of going back on themselves. So that one I'm going to remove. And this one, it's two large roots, so I'll put that down for a second and go right up to where it's coming out of. Right, that's those two gone. And also this one here is quite thick, so I'll just reduce it down to about there. And let's put that on the side. Right, yeah, these, that's not good. It's really growing upwards, so we'll remove that. Hello, what's going on here? And also this one will reduce it. Reduce to out there, and in there. And this one will take it right back to where it's going upwards. That's it. Still have these really thick roots going this way, so we'll remove these. These have come off. And let's see. Right, there's this, not quite sure if you can see. That's quite a thick root, again doubling back on itself, and it's doing a bit of a zigzag. So we'll remove it. It's that part there. So I've removed it where it was starting to zigzag, and this one and this one again need to be trimmed back. I'll try and sort them out. and also at the bottom there's still a few bits sticking out. Now this again is doubling back on itself, so we'll try and sort of clean that up to about here. Completely remove it. That's a bit better. I've got this glazed reddish brownish pot, and I tend to use glazed pots for flowering trees, and so we will top it up with soil, making a little mound in the middle, then ease the tree in. There we go. Right, now this time I'm going to endeavor to put it bang in the middle as opposed to what happened the last time round. So that should do quite nicely about there. I want to raise this so that it's basically facing this way, leading. It comes up and then it leans this way, so I'm going to plant it, push it back a little so it's sitting in the pot like that. I'll just put a little bit more soil underneath here, this side, and push it underneath, and I'm going to secure the tree in the pot with the wires. That should be interesting. I think I'm going to try and take it sort of from there like that. Give me a chance to straighten up the tree. I don't want it leaning as much as it is. Just loosely secure these wires until we've sort of got the soil in the positioning of the tree where I want it, and also enough soil to support it in the position that I want it. We'll just top it up with more soil, and basically that's all that we have to do now. This also helps the soil settle into the pot. Right, I want it a little bit leaning away from me. It's leaning too much towards me. So the way to do it, to correct that, is by pushing more soil under it from this side, and continue doing that until it's sort of fairly tight and stays in that position. And we'll use chopsticks to fine tune it. So use chopstick now to drive more soil underneath, and also get rid of any air pockets, drive soil into the air pockets. As you can see, the soil is going down. There's one or two roots which are a little bit too high, so those I'll have to take off as part of the final sort of finishing. It's always easier to take it off at a later stage as opposed to take it off and then, if you've taken off too much, kindly put back. Okay. Right, I think now it's time to tighten the wire, but let's just do a little bit more work here with the chopsticks. And then tighten up the anchor wires. And as usual, pull, release and turn. Pull, get the slack, release and turn. And keep repeating until there is no more slack. And if you overdo it, it breaks and you have to start all over again. And the tray is pretty secure. And one of the advantages of securing it like this is that it doesn't move, and there's less chance of the feeder roots moving and breaking. I think that's done, so we'll just cut these anchor wires back and bury them deep so they can't be seen. Same thing with this side. Use the pliers to drive them down. Right, now there's a root here. We'll close in so you can see. Yes, this root here is coming from here, right up here. So I'm going to remove that and see if there's anything else. No, the rest looks fine, so we'll revert back to where we were. There's some roots still sticking out, so we'll just take them off. And I think that's it. No, just some more here. And if there are any others, I'll simply have to take them out. So that is done. And what we now have to do is prune the tree.